What's up everyone? So in today's video, I'm going to attempt to fix my 2010 Audi R8. A couple days ago, an engine light came on. Looking through the owner's manual, it was the malfunction indicator light. Took it down to my local parts store. They pulled the code. Looks like it is a O2 sensor. Specifically, it's the Bank 1 Sensor 2, which means it's on the driver's side past the catalytic converter, so closer to the muffler. I think it's something that I can do myself. I just got the part in today. Oh, you guys can't see that. I just got the part in today, so we get to open that up. And then I've already tried to do this. Over the last couple days, I've been doing all the research I can to figure out how to do this myself. I tried taking the bumper off, or at least attempting to take the bumper off, but that doesn't look like it's going to work because the sensor is located up in here somewhere. But what I'm gonna do is remove the intake because I can actually see that sensor right through here. I know you guys won't be able to see it because of the lighting, but I'm gonna go ahead and remove that and go from there. But first, let's take a look at the part. Okay, so through a lot of research, I was able to get an OEM part using the exact part number that I would get from an Audi dealer. Looks like I have some instructions to help me out. But this is what I'm dealing with. So it looks like I have quite a lot of wire, and here is the actual sensor. So I got it back in the box now, but this is a direct plug and play since it's the right part number. I did see some where you had to splice this into the one on the vehicle. That's not something I want to do. I don't want to worry about splicing wires or anything. The first step I need to do is remove this cap, and I've already done it. It's basically just held in, easy enough like that. Set that aside. These screws right here, I think there's about 8 of them. I've already went ahead and taken those out. Those ones just line the outside here, so we can go ahead and pop this cover off now to reveal the air filters. It's actually good that I'm opening this up because they are a little bit dirty, so I can go ahead and clean those too. But now there's just a couple bolts surrounding the outside of it that I need to remove. I'm gonna go ahead and remove these first, then I can take this tray out. Hopefully I can get better access down below there. All right guys, so I'm starting to find out that this will not come straight up no matter how much I try to pinch the outside layers. I think this whole piece right here, if you can tell, I've already got it loose. I think I need to try to get this piece up, which means that I need to remove this one shock of the trunk lid. And I don't know if I want to do that by myself here. Okay, well that was easy. But I think it might be this angle that is throwing it off. Because I can get this side out. But here's another issue. We're hitting, see that metal pan? Yeah. It's hitting the oil fill up. I can't go any farther this way because that's, you know what I mean? Like this? Yeah. I don't know what that's hitting. Oh, it's hitting on that pipe, okay. I don't know how much I want to twist it that way. Oh, wait a sec, that's working. I got it. Well, that's the good news, I got it off. It's completely free. Oh, look at that. So when I followed that wire using my finger, yeah, when I followed my hand, you guys, I came all the way over here. Look at all those plugs. Oh my gosh. So I don't know which one that is without actually following the wire further. It's the next day, you guys, and I've been doing a lot of research on how to actually solve this issue. I've called several dealers and trying to get price quotes on having someone do it for me. But a lot of these places that I called were not very educated in helping me out on how to actually fix this. I was asking them, what side is Bank 1 versus Bank 2, because I can't find it on any forums. I've been on R8 Talk, other forums like that, trying to figure out which side it is. The good news for me though is I have a 50-50 shot. So if I fix the one on the driver's side and it doesn't work, I just have to take everything back out and do it on the passenger side, which, you know, I've already taken everything apart, so I know how to do that. It's just kind of frustrating that nobody knows how to do this. So I'm kind of on my own, showing you guys the first video that I will be able to see or show everybody on fixing the sensors on an R8. But I just got a call from Audi Greenville, and they confirmed with me that Bank 1 Sensor 2 is the passenger side. All along, it was the one that we decided to try and take out because it was the easier one to get to. And what we need to do is, you can see the sensor right there, right here. I've already sprayed it with some penetration liquid to go ahead and let it sit because it's gonna be pretty hard to get off. We went ahead and let the liquid wrench sit for about 2 hours on the sensor. So we're gonna go ahead and take our open-ended wrench. We may need the hammer, and we can go ahead and loosen that up. So the sensor is now finger loose. I'm not gonna keep twisting it all the way off because I don't want to twist the wire that's connected on it too much. I just cut the zip tie that holds all of these together. That way we can actually see the wire itself. So now it's time to track this wire, and you can actually see it behind. It runs through here. You'll see it, I'm gonna pull on it. Hopefully we can see one moving. You can kind of see that one moving. I'm gonna grab it from this side. All right, so it's this one right here. And it looks like this wire connects to the second one from the right. So now we need to pull this out towards me. Let's see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. All right, so now this is what we can disconnect on this side. We can go ahead and finish up twisting out the sensor, and then we can run the new sensor. Surprisingly, this actually didn't take that much time to separate these, you guys. Basically what I did is I just stuck the flathead in between this outer lip on the top one and the bottom of this one and just turned it clockwise, and they separated. So now we can pull that wire through once we get the sensor out. There's one more zip tie that we have to cut, and don't worry, I have more zip ties to redo this. But we'll cut that one. That way that frees up this wire, which is the one that we're getting. Now I'm probably gonna feed this through now. And let's see, where's it wrapped? And one last zip tie, you guys. It was right here where my finger is. I had to cut, and we can remove this one. And now we should be able to fish that wire out. All right, so see, this is the problem that we're having now. I have to keep untwisting the wire as I twist this so we don't get anything tangled up. All right, so here's the burned out sensor. And you know, I really don't know what a burned out one would look like, but if you compare this to the new one, can they see that? Mm-hmm. It is, I mean, it's a lot more black, that's for sure. Probably just a lot of carbon buildup. But that's the old one. Here's the new one. Let's go ahead and start replacing this. It's hard to thread something with a line on the end of it. All right, so that is in there finger tight. Now we're gonna work on looping this back through, and we're gonna do all three of those zip ties again. This cord seems much longer than the one that it came with. On the original one, this little clip, we used that to measure how it came out. So this was on the driver's side when it came out. We'll be putting this one back in. I should hear it click. There we go. So now it's connected. All we have to do...
We need to push it in that little slot.
Oh, yeah. I might not be able to show them that because I can't see. I forgot how I did... Oh, there we go. All right, so that's in. All right, guys, so we ended up using 2 zip ties down here. I guess we'll start on this side, just trimming them back some. Hopefully you guys can see around our hams. Okay, so that's 1, 2, okay. There's this one down here. Can they see that? I can barely see it. All right, and then the last one is way up here. All right, guys, so I just successfully reinstalled the Bank 1 Sensor 2 O2 sensor on my 2010 Audi R8 with the help of my lovely girlfriend. She spent quite a lot of time out here in the garage with me. Hey, look at that, little street bike. I love it, dude. I love it. He's gonna have a street bike one day. So a quick step-by-step recap of what was done. First, we had to spray this sensor down with some penetration lubricant. That way we could easily loosen it. It has the wire that runs. You just saw it looped all the way through with the zip ties to here. Second one on the right is the connection for that one. And that was pretty much it. Aside from having to take the air intake box out, which took a good bit. Now I know how to do it. That probably took
4 hours total.
4 hours total. 4 or 5 hours. It was a good bit, and then just letting it sit for a while we took a break. Alright guys, so it's the next day and I went ahead and cleared the code, but I wanted to show you guys how I did that. It was a bit frustrating for me, so I didn't film it. But this is the OBD2 port that I got in the mail today. Hopefully you guys can focus on that. But using the torque app on my phone, that is how I did it. So going through the torque app, you can go to fault codes, you can bring up, it'll show you a list here. I went in, it showed code P0140, which is Bank 1 Sensor 2. Then below that I can hit clear. It took me a while to figure out that I actually had to start my car up for the light to go away. It wasn't going away with just the electronics on. So I started up the car, I took it for a drive, and the light is gone. So I am super excited that I was able to fix that myself. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. For me, that was a first. Huge learning curve on the car doing this myself and having the help of my girlfriend. Thumbs up, you guys, for a girl who likes to work on a car. I definitely needed a second hand. She had a lot of great ideas for this project that made it go a lot better, so thank you so much for your help. What did you think of it?
Very time consuming.
Yeah, it took most of the day, so thank you for your help again.
Patience.
Yeah. If you guys follow us on Instagram, you would have seen some of the stories on the update for this, so you would have known what's going on. So I hope you guys enjoyed that video again. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. We'll see you guys next video.